Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Penguin Rundown. I'm Dom Joseph with Christina Sainovich, and yeah, this is really different, especially for everyone that's going through this. You guys are not alone. Uh, we were so determined to finish this semester off strong that we're bringing you one more episode for the end of the semester. And Christina, very happy that we're able to knock this out.
Yeah, and Don, we're seniors too. This is the end of an era for us, really. We started out here at Penguin Rundown together 4 years ago, so I'm really glad that we're able to host together for our final show. But it has been really different trying to put this together, and I want to say thank you to the athletes who have taken time out of their finals week. A couple of people have talked to us, so you guys will see that later on in the show. But yeah, I mean, there's not been very many sports, but there is a lot to talk about. So I'm going to get us started with men's basketball. The men's basketball team had a great 2019-2020 season. They finished 18-15 overall and 10-8 in the Horizon League. The men hosted a first-round game against Milwaukee, beating them 63-57. Then they played at UIC in the second round, but lost 67-61. The men accepted an invitation to play in the CIT, which was scheduled to host a game on March 18th. This was all canceled due to COVID-19. Although some sports are receiving an extra year of eligibility, the men's basketball team is not. During the past couple of weeks, the men's basketball team has solidified their recruiting class. The team has signed their two final players to join the team in the fall. Those two players are Shamar Rathan Mays and Alex Vargo. The other three recruits that will be joining the team are William Dunn, Miles Hunter, and Shake Troyer.
Before its untimely end, the women's basketball team had quite a season to be proud of. The Gwins led the conference in three-pointers per game for the sixth straight year, while breaking the school record for most threes in a season. The team had an average GPA of 3.8, which is unheard of in the past years, and that is all while scoring big, not only in class, but on the courts as well. They did well as a team overall, but there's no lack of skill individually either. Chelsea Olsen did well enough to earn All Horizon League first team, while Mary Dunn became the 22nd player in YSU history to join the 1,000-point club. Mary Dunn also did well to receive a red shirt this year after her unfortunate injury, and because of that, she will be back for the 2020-2021 season. There will not be any extra eligibility for the rest of the team in the following year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was certainly a year to be proud of for the Gwins, and they look forward to put on a great season to follow.
The women's bowling team had a very successful season that came to an abrupt end. The team has jumped from 23rd to the 10th spot in the National 10-Pin Coaches Association. Head coach Doug Kuberski was voted Coach of the Year honors of National 10-Pin Coaches Association Division I and voted the Southland Bowling League Coach of the Year. Kuberski was able to push the team over 65% winning average, which is the most the team has ever done in history. Despite the season coming to a drastic end, the Gwins have a lot to look forward to in the upcoming season. Good luck to the women's bowling team and have an enjoyable summer.
The women's swim and dive team continues its 6-year streak with a member of the Horizon League All-Academic team. Senior Tefane St. Giles won the award for a perfect 4.0 GPA in the fall. Giles has an accumulated 3.81 GPA as a business major at YSU. The women's team also continued their success outside of the pool with a great recruiting class in 2020. The women added 7 swimmers and one diver. The women's team recruited athletes from 3 different countries. Now on to the men's side. Their swim and dive team replicated the same amount of swimmers to their recruiting class. The men's team also adds 1 diver as well. The men's recruiting class has a variety of cultures joining the team, as the men have swimmers from 4 different countries coming in 2020.
Youngstown State's 2020 class has found its way into the NFL. Wide receiver Jeremiah Braswell has signed an undrafted free agent rookie contract with the Arizona Cardinals. Braswell, a Toledo Central Catholic native, was a 4-year letter winner at Youngstown State. Jeremiah's senior year boosted his draft stock as he recorded 24 receptions for 515 total yards and 7 touchdowns. The football team also released its fall football schedule with a MAC opponent in Week 1. The Penguins will take on the Akron Zips to start their season on Saturday, September 5th. The Penguins have 3 non-conference opponents until starting the Missouri Valley Conference play on September 26th versus North Dakota at Stambaugh Stadium. The team will end its regular season on the road at South Dakota State on November 21st. Good luck to the football team as they prepare for next season.
Welcome into the Roundtable. I'm Monica alongside Kelsey and Richie. And a little bit of a different setup today. We're all in our own homes, quarantining, following the stay-at-home order that is in place. But as we always talk about when we like to converse here at the Roundtable, we always have to rotate it back and bring it back to our athletes. So they are suffering this tremendously. There's a lot of athletes that are missing their spring seasons. And luckily enough, there are some of those sports that are getting another year of eligibility. Rich, you want to tell us about some of those sports?
Yeah, first off, I want to talk about the baseball team. They were off to one of their best starts of the decade, 7-7 to start. They had a lot of momentum going forward after a couple big series wins out west as well as down south. So they were off to one of their best starts in a while. And one thing that stands out with the baseball team is they had 6 seniors, but 4 of those seniors were red shirts. So now they would have to spend their 6th year at Youngstown State if they wanted to come back.
Yeah, just like you talked about, there are a lot of, we hear about like 5th-year seniors, and that's a little more common than 6th-year seniors. But so there's a lot of people having to make really big decisions right now about where they're going to live next year, if they even want to play. But kind of similar situation, off to a really great start, was the track and field team. They're doing really well indoor this year, and they basically crushed it. So we were all looking forward to their outdoor season, but that had to end shortly. And I know that there are a couple track and field members who are going to be coming back to race back on the track again for YSU for one more year, including Colin Harden, who we're going to hear from later.
Obviously, no one saw this coming. No one saw the opportunity of another year of eligibility if you looked back on earlier in the season. I know a lot of those athletes probably want that final goodbye to their sport, so we'll just have to wait and see who comes back. Softball is also getting another year of eligibility. They started off the season 8-7. So I know golf and tennis is in a little bit of a different situation just because they did get to play their fall season. But that being said, they missed all of those opportunities to play in the spring. So luckily enough, they're being offered another year of eligibility as well.
Yeah, and I want to touch on the tennis teams real quick. Both the men and women had 2 seniors on each, and both of those seniors on each team are from different countries. And all 4 of these seniors are from international countries. And that's a difficult decision to make right there itself. It's different when you live in Ohio and Pennsylvania coming back to YSU. But when you live across the globe, that's a whole different situation that they have to discuss with their family, with the university, and money and financial aid and everything in between. So I think the tennis team might have one of the hardest decisions to make come next year.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, I think that a lot of our athletes are learning about new opportunities to kind of further themselves in their sport, but it's a lot of big decision making.
Exactly. It's not going to be an easy decision for anyone, but luckily enough, we have to think about the other people that are affected too. What does that mean for the recruits? You know, are they going to lose their opportunity to play a college sport because now the rosters are limited?
Well, baseball, I think, made the right decision by expanding their roster. And the budget in baseball obviously isn't as big as football and basketball at the Division I level, and the scholarships aren't as big. So I think NCAA made the right decision to expand these rosters, give the university a little bit of an edge in recruiting and able to bring players back.
Yeah, I agree as well. We've been talking about college seniors, but another thing we have to think about is like high school seniors, which, you know, we talk about with recruiting and everything. So I definitely agree that it was a really good decision to put in some more funds to look for recruits in baseball and other sports as well. So I hope that those funds will be used properly, and you know, we'll get some good athletes in for next year.
There's another change that is being proposed for college athletes, and that is the opportunity to cash in on their likeliness and their names.
Yeah. I mean, that's not official just yet, but I think it's a big thing, especially in college, for these athletes to make money off their name. I know a lot of big-time athletes have been wanting this for a long time, as you know, they don't get money playing their sport. They obviously get financial aid from the college or scholarships, but they don't get money on the side to support their families. So
I think that it'll really be something interesting to follow because, like you said, it's not official yet, but in likely the next school year, we're going to start hearing more about these ideas so that athletes can profit off of their name and their likeness, but they still have to follow a lot of rules that the league has been talking about, and YSU specifically has been talking about.
I know the YSU Athletic Department is already starting to look into this. They've been in contact with the Horizon League and the Missouri Valley Football Conference to kind of understand what rules our student athletes have to follow. They really need to be sure to educate our athletes to make sure that they aren't losing their eligibility. The NCAA, the school, and the conferences cannot pay their athletes. If this passes and if this goes into play, those athletes can't be using the school name or the school logo to earn money.
Yeah, that's exactly where it gets tricky. You don't want to, advertise something that you didn't make, basically. So we don't want to have our athletes out there wearing the Y and saying that it's theirs and making money off of it. So that'll be really interesting to follow. And there really needs to be a focus on the education before all. So that'll be really important to focus on.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's going to come into play is social media and how big it is now. And I think a lot of the advertisements are going to come through social media. And now athletes can actually have their own brand outside of Youngstown State or, their logo or school name.
It's definitely a step in the right direction. I think this has been something that's been talked about for such a long time, and to see it finally happening is kind of crazy. And it gives a little bit more of an edge of positivity during all this negativity that's going on right now. So that'll about do it for us here at the Roundtable. We hope everyone is staying safe and healthy during these terrible times. And back to you, Christina and Dom.
The men's and women's tennis teams ended their season on March 11th in defeat. The men's team finished their early season 3-6, while the women's team went 3-9. Despite not being able to finish the early season of 2020, the tennis program will be welcoming a brand new indoor tennis court scheduled to open at the start of the fall season. The center is located behind the softball complex across from Stambaugh Stadium. Be sure to come out this fall and support our Gwins in their new home court.
Over spring break, the women's golf team competed in the Benbow Invitational at Jacksonville Beach Golf Club. The team finished 6th out of 14 teams competing. Quan Rudy carded a 2-round total of 146 to win the individual title by 1 stroke. The sophomore's 1 under par 70 marked the lowest round of her career. Her final round performance is also tied for the 8th lowest 18-hole score in program history. This earned her the honor of being named the Nike Horizon League Women's Golfer of the Week. At the same time, the men's team excelled at the George Mason Invitational. Junior Ken Keller finished with a 3-round total of 221 to tie for medalist honors. Keller, who earned medalist honors for the first time in his career, was one of 3 Penguins who finished in the top 10 individual standings. Cole Chrisman earned a career-best 9th-place finish with a 3-round 227. Zach Ford tied with Chrisman, firing a 3-round 227 and matching the best finish of his career. We wish the best of luck to the golf team in the fall.
The softball team played their last game March 10th. Without knowing it, they dropped 2 games to Memphis just before the rest of their season was canceled. This year's team has 4 seniors on the roster. These seniors include Maddie Lusk, Demi-Ann Patonis, Tatum Christie, and Elizabeth Birkbeck. The NCAA and Horizon League have determined that there will be another year of eligibility for the softball players, but it is unclear how most of these seniors will choose to continue. Our very own Abigail Cloutier caught up with senior Tatum Christie to find out what her plans are.
I'm Abigail Cloutier here with Tatum Christie for the Penguin Rundown. So my first question for you is, how do you feel about the season that you did have, even though it got cut pretty short?
Okay, so I was a senior this year, so with that being said, it was just extra emotional, just with it being cut so short, like you said. But I definitely didn't see it coming, just like other athletes from all over. And I don't know, it was just all came so fast. It was super crazy. But overall, with the season that we had, with the 15 games, I think that we had a lot of fun, and we had one of the best starts to the season that I've had since I've been here at YSU. So that was definitely super exciting. And it was also sad that it had to, end so soon. But I don't know, it was also sad just because we had a great group of girls, on and off the field. We all got along really well. At least I felt like we did. And I don't know, we were having a lot of fun. But yeah, it was definitely just like sad it had to come to an end so soon.
For sure. But since you did have such a great group of people, what do you think your best memory from the season was?
Oh gosh. I don't know if I could name my best. I mean, we had so many. It was nice to see like Maddie Lusk back on the pitching mound. That was exciting just because she was like in my class. And I know she works so hard at everything she does. So it was like exciting to see her back out there. And like we definitely needed her. And the pitching staff stepped up. Ellie Buffenbarger threw no hitter. That was exciting. Nikki went 5 for 5 one game. Yaz hitting me in for the winning run against Memphis. Like, I don't know if I can name one. There's just like so many.
And softball players are going to be given another year of eligibility that was released. So are you planning on taking that offer?
Yeah, at first, like that was definitely like in the question, like if we were even going to get an opportunity. But as soon as I heard that we would be getting an opportunity, I was super excited and I couldn't say no. I mean, especially with one of my best friends that had to redshirt this year, Liz Birkbeck. That was like emotional, like not getting to play my senior year with her, especially like playing all 4 years with her and her just being one of my good friends. So like that's probably what I'm most excited about, is just getting like the chance to go out on the field with her again. But super exciting. I'm definitely going to like take advantage of the opportunity, and I'm excited to get back on the field.
Awesome. And is there anything else you're looking forward to in the upcoming year and season?
I guess I would say that I'm just like super excited to get everyone, like pretty much everyone back. I think everyone, like just about everybody is coming back for next year. So that's exciting. And then I think we're getting like 6 or 7 incoming freshmen. So like with how we played this season and how like exciting and how well we started off with just the 15 games that we got the opportunity to play in. I guess I'm just excited for everyone to be back and then like us to gain like some more people.
Sadly, the baseball season ended short after the Gwens had only played one home game. They hosted Bowling Green nearly 2 months ago on March 10th and fell 2-1. Overall, the team started out in a much better fashion than the last few years. They were 7-7 overall and 7-6 on the road. A few of the players were recognized by D1 Baseball for their impressive performances in the early part of the season. Colin Clark was ranked 45th overall among junior pitchers, and Colin Floyd was placed 42nd among top senior pitchers. Clark and Floyd were first and second in the Horizon League in strikeouts with 26 and 25 Ks respectively. Colin Floyd was honored again, being named the Horizon League's most impressive pitcher. Gary Cliff Jr. was also named the conference's best senior, and Steven DeSania was honored with the breakout player. The Penguins, as a team, were named the Horizon League's most surprising team on the season. Fortunately for the program, the most surprising team will be back together next spring for what some would consider another chance to prove their talent. Each player will receive an extra year of eligibility since the season ended before conference play even began. I had the chance to catch up with redshirt senior Nick Caruso earlier this week over Zoom. So what was your reaction when you found out the rest of the season had been canceled?
Shock, really. I remember being at practice before we were getting ready to take off for Northern Kentucky, and we kind of knew everything was getting worse and worse as days went on. So we knew if our practice canceled, if our coach wanted to talk to us, we knew what was going to happen. So we got put on our 2-week hiatus at first, and our coach was like, well, we're still going to finish our practice. And everybody immediately just kind of went to their phones, and the mood for practice just wasn't there. It's tough, especially with how good the season was off to, like how good of a start the season was off to. So it was really shocked. And then once we found out it was completely canceled, it kind of set in already, but it was just sad, but there's nothing we could really do about it.
So do you feel like if you came back for a 6th year, you guys would, and some other guys are going to probably come back as well, you guys would kind of get a chance to redeem yourselves and have kind of a do-over?
I do. We have a great group returning. I know a lot of the guys already are returning. I think there's just a few that aren't due to academic reasons, but a lot of guys got a fire in their gut. They're ready to go. We've just shown part of what we can do, and that's part of the reason that will make it so tough for me. So really the reason I'm looking elsewhere is because I have to start a master's program. So for academic reasons, but having to leave the work that we put in and the guys that we have on this team and knowing what we can do would be extremely tough. So I would expect big things from the team next year and definitely a competitive chance for a Horizon League championship.
Before the stay-at-home order, the YSU track and field team couldn't stay still. Both the men and women's teams were named Horizon League champions. Fans were looking forward to seeing the runners take on the outdoor season. During the championships, athletes set 7 new university records. The women set a new standard for the 200-meter dash, the 800, pentathlon, and distance medley. The men broke records in long jump, pole vault, and triple jump. 2 stars rose to claim special titles. Seniors Colin Hardin and Jalea Elliott were both named the season's Joseph F. Malmaser YSU Male and Female Athletes of the Year. Because the NCAA increased athletic eligibility by 1 year for college athletes, there will be a few familiar seniors returning next season, including Hardin and Elliott. We were able to talk to Colin Hardin about his experiences in quarantine as well as his interpretation of the season.
All right, so just talk a little bit, I guess, about how the season ended. Obviously, you guys didn't have outdoor season and your reaction to that.
Yeah, so the season ended abruptly. Nobody was expecting it, really. So when it happened, and we really couldn't do anything about it. But we are where we are right now. And honestly, all of my teammates are just getting ready for next year.
So you're training right now then?
A little bit on and off. I'm staying in shape, but I'm still letting my body heal.
And so you're obviously going to get another year of eligibility, so you're going to come back then?
Yeah, I'm coming back.
And so then what do you hope maybe to prove next year since you didn't get to finish this year's season?
I don't really hope to prove anything. I just want to be better. I just want to be a better self. So obviously I can't compete indoor, but I'll still be there cheering for my teammates, obviously. But outdoor, I'm not even worried about getting that 4th title for the 400 hurdles. All I'm worried about is just breaking the record again, just hoping that it doesn't get broken anytime soon, really. And also to add on top of the conference, I plan on running fast times, hopefully get into Olympic trials, and definitely nationals.
Well, those are some pretty good goals, I think, Olympic trials and nationals. When do you think that you would be able to start training like you would normally?
Oh, I can train whenever I want normally. I'm just taking the time since we don't train till August so I'm just taking this time, making sure that I'm actually ready for next season without any injuries at all. So that's all I'm focused on.
Juniors Natalie Fleming and Nicole Squatrito, alongside senior Brandon Orlando, earned Horizon League All-Academic honors this season. After the season got cut short, the track and field coaching staff are focusing their energy on recruiting new incoming student athletes to join the team. Some prospective recruits include Youngstown natives like Tobias Hayes and Maria Delamuti of Warren. One recruit, Emily B., is from England and excels at the heptathlon. We're looking forward to seeing returning and new athletes take to the starting line next season. Well, it wouldn't be an episode of the Penguin Rundown without a play of the week, or for this case, play of the semester. And our play of the semester is a big one that happened at the beginning of the baseball season. Of course, it's a home run. Let's take a look.
Thanks, guys. Well, there were a lot of great plays from Youngstown State Athletics all across the board, but this play caught our attention the most, and it is one play of the year. Let's send it over to Houston, Texas. Here's Andre Good making his collegiate debut for Youngstown State. His team trailing by 1. The 2-2 pitch is drilled into deep left field. This one is way out of here, off the sign in left field, and Andre Good has tied the ball game for the Penguins in the 9th inning. Later in the 10th, he would get another opportunity as he drilled a 2 RBI single into center field, giving the Penguins an 8-6 victory and the series win to start off their 2020 campaign. We want to say congratulations to Andre Good for winning Play of the Year, and for all of us here at the Penguin Rundown, we want to thank our 4 seniors, Dante Colella, Colin Headley, Christina Sanovich, and Dom Joseph. For the final time this year, Dom, Christina, back to you guys.
And with that, that is the end of the Penguin Rundown for this semester, and an interesting one at that, but for sure another fun round of episodes for the Penguin Rundown. And Christina, this is the end of the road for us at Penguin Rundown. Can you believe it's finally here?
No, not at all. It's very bittersweet. I mean, we've put in so much work, especially over the last 2 years since I've been EP and you've been a producer and we've been hosting. It's just been a lot of work, a lot of our time. But it's been the best part of college, I think, for both of us. We've learned so much, made so many great friends. I mean, that's how we met. So many great friends, so many great experiences that we'll remember forever. And thank you, Penguin Nation, for letting us do this for the last 4 years. Monica, good luck. You're going to need it. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes from here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, to see all the new faces come in and out each year, getting to learn the new people coming in and building those friendships, that's so much fun. And even the athletes too. The athletes made it fun for us. We got to do some fun stuff with them. Got to play Mario Kart against the baseball team.
Horse was the best one.
Yeah, absolutely. Horse was a lot of fun. Got to learn how close Garrett and Jelani really are behind closed doors. So that was a lot of fun to see. I mean, just to see how they interact with each other when they're not on the court, on the field. Getting that inside look was really special, and that's what's so cool about Penguin Rundown, and just unbelievable that 4 years has gone by as quickly as it has. And unfortunate it has to end this way, but regardless, we got one more episode in, and that's all that matters.
I'm very glad we were able to, and thanks to Kevin Davis, our faculty advisor, for strongly suggesting we do this, even though it's going to take me forever to get it all put together. But it's been great. And again, thank you, Penguin Nation. This has just been the best time ever.
And for the last time, that is it for the Penguin Rundown. For me and Christina Stainovich, for news, highlights, and more, be sure to check out ysusports.com, and definitely follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook, and that's all at Penguin Rundown 1. I'm Dom Joseph.
And I'm Christina Stainovich.
We'll see you next semester, Penguin Nation.